Today we're going to go up Golden Canyon. We're right at the Golden Canyon turnoff here in Death Valley. And we're going to go up Golden Canyon, see if we can wind our way around to Zabriskie Point. Let's do a 360 degree. There you're looking down Badwater Road toward Badwater, lowest point in the Western Hemisphere. Now we're panning around to Death Valley. That's the valley floor. There's a lot of water in the valley today. A few little lakes and a river. And then up in this area, you can see Telescope Peak in the center, and then over this way, Wild Rose Peak. Both are snow covered. This is the day after Christmas, December 26th. And then here's more of the valley. You're looking at the Panamint Mountain Range in the distance. And then right below us is the Mesquite Grove. This is a huge grove of mesquite trees, and at some point maybe we'll just wander around through the grove. Coyotes, roadrunners live in this grove, a lot of other little animals. And then now we're panning around to the northern part of Death Valley. Here you see the Beast. And back to Golden Canyon. And here we go. Through Golden Canyon, here is the entrance. And got a combination of rock and debris that has been washed down from above. We're going to wind around and arrive about 3 miles at Zabriskie Point. For about 50 years ago, there used to be a road here, and we drove through Golden Canyon. You can see it's hard to maintain a road in this area because things get washed out so frequently. And actually we're approaching, I believe, a section of that road that used to go through Golden Canyon. And here we are. We're on the road through Golden Canyon. And that's it. This is all that's left. There might be a few more sections above. But here we are, looking around, down the canyon, and you see the walls here, and the rock that is embedded in these walls shows that it's composite, which is made of the debris that was washed down from the hills. And then I think this section here is not so much composite, maybe more ancient, actually, because I don't see a lot of rock that's embedded. There's some. Okay. And then what a shot at sunrise. This is where Golden Canyon gets its name. Look at that. That's just amazing. Okay, continuing on up. Okay, along the way, you may notice different colors in the rock. And where you see green, that would indicate copper. Reddish would indicate iron. And white would indicate manganese. And there's a lot more minerals. Those are just the main ones that you see, the main colors in the area. And here you see a little of each. A lot of different colors throughout. I'm a little frozen, sorry. A lot of different colors throughout this canyon. There, looking down this way. You see the work of water throughout. Everywhere water has formed channels in this canyon. And it pretty much just draws you in. You wonder what is around the next corner. The scene continues to change with each turn. Look at these walls. Like slabs that have been, they've just been turned upward. Because the lines that you see ahead were once on the ground. And then this whole area must have shifted upward. It's one thing about Death Valley is, though there's a lack of plant life, because of that, you can see the raw geology. And not being a geologist, it's still pretty evident, some of the amazing features here. Let's look and see what's around this next corner. Lots of different colors up ahead. Now, if you were standing at that high point, you'd be looking, I believe you'd be looking down on Zabriskie Point. But we'll be up there in a bit. We rise in the canyon. You can see the Panamint Mountain Range through the lower opening. And then we look around, more of this slanted rock all around us. And then up into the golden part of the canyon. And you can see little trails up there that are going to lead to Zabriskie Point. So we'll take a right in those golden hills eventually. Okay, we haven't gone very far. The canyon is opening up. Let's take a look around. down to the Panamint Range. Brilliant blue sky framing these mountains. It's another thing about Death Valley is the colors that come out and the different shades as the sun advances throughout the day. It's just incredible. And I think the crossover to Zabriskie Point is up ahead, and you can see, you look carefully up at the top of that hill, there are a couple people that have taken the crossover trail up to Zabriskie Point. You definitely don't want to be here during a flash flood. You can see this huge chunk of rock came down from above. Maybe that one in the center up there is the next one that's coming down. I think you see the tip of Manly Beacon up there. We'll see as we round this next corner. Continuing on, yeah, that hill that we saw the people on, this is the approach to that hill up there. Wrong side of the canyon for Zabriskie Point. But you see lots of places to wander in the canyon here. You could just take off and explore all around. As you get further up and in, you may even be standing in an area where no one has stood before. But you'd have to get off the main track here. This is a very popular canyon. There's probably, at this time in the morning, there's probably 40 people in the canyon, and midday you'd see 100, 200 people in this canyon. Continuing to wind upward through Golden Canyon. It narrows and it opens a number of times. Beautiful formations. Yeah, I remember when we drove this section in a two-wheel drive car about 50, 60 years ago. This may be a part of that section that was drivable. It was a loop, and there was another exit below. But today, yeah, it's just one way. You go up to Zabriskie Point, and that's pretty much it. And you can see the mountains up ahead. Yeah, this may be Manly Beacon up ahead. It's, center. There you go. But we'll find out. Looks like the trail to Zabriskie Point is up ahead, so we'll check that. Lots of evidence of people wandering around in these hills. Look down the canyon and around. Yeah, you could wander just through about any spot here. Take your pick. Just don't do it on a midsummer day with no water, because you may get disoriented, and that could be a CLM, career limiting move for you. Wow, look at the formations on those hills above. See the dramatic change in coloring. Let's see what this little sign says here, and if it's a guide to Zabriskie Point. Yes, Zabriskie Point Trailhead right here. So let's just take that. We may, on the way back, explore up ahead here, because where the canyon ends, it's very, very beautiful. In fact, I think I'm going to do that now, then come back. Here we go. Okay, here you can see the sign, and yes, straight ahead is a place called Red Cathedral, and I believe that the hills actually look like a pipe organ. so let's go up there and check it, and then we'll come back here and we'll take the Zabriskie Point Trail for another 2 miles. As we approach Red Cathedral, just had to get a shot of this, which is the sun rising just beyond this point ahead. Makes a beautiful silhouette of the sunrise. And here we are, canyon, continuing toward Cathedral, Red Cathedral, and then looking down, you see the hills around us in the sun. Closing in on Red Cathedral, and you can see what we're going to be looking at soon. But we're continuing for now to wind through the very upper end of Golden Canyon. Rounding the corner, Red Cathedral is ahead up here. Surface of the canyon getting a little bit broken up. Not much, but definitely not lending itself to easy photography. There it is. It's Red Cathedral. Let's get a little closer. Little tunnel opening ahead. Okay, let me go back a little ways. Looked like there was a higher viewpoint. It's getting a little dicey in here. Actually, one can work one's way through this little narrow area. I've hit my head a few times. There's a rock in the Oregon caves along the pathway. They've actually named Headache Rock due to repeated head bumps. I think I've seen about 3 of those rocks here, but here we are. Here's the Red Cathedral. And one can look down through that narrow passageway with at least 2 headache rocks. And then here is the smart path. I'll take this on the way back, see if it circles above that narrow area. But let's move a little further in here. Yeah, let's get right to the base of Red Cathedral and look up. Very impressive. If I can keep my footing. If you see blue sky, suddenly you'll know I bid it. Yeah, there's the Red Cathedral from below. Wow. Definitely in the Red Cathedral, the very top of Golden Canyon. Here's the way back. Few people getting better vantage points. See if we can get the whole circuit without falling over on this uneven surface. Look at that. Wow. There you have it, Red Cathedral. I had to get the shot from the higher perspective we saw a while ago where the people were climbing.
Oh, be so careful, Tyler. Yeah.
It's a good shot of Telescope Peak, Wild Rose Peak, across the valley.
How far up does it go?
Right up to here where I am.
Out of Telescope Peak from higher up. You look carefully, you can even see the moon. And there's the Badlands below. We're going to take that over to Zabriskie Point. And when you're standing on Zabriskie Point, you look down on these golden hills. There's Red Cathedral. It looks like this may be an alternate way to Zabriskie Point. We don't know. You see a little lake through the hills, the base of the valley. Okay, let's continue on up to Zabriskie Point. Another 2 miles. Here we go. We're coming down from the Red Cathedral. You can see the rocks up there. Look like a pipe organ. And now we're heading to Zabriskie Point, called the Gower Gulch Loop. Interesting. Well marked, because you could definitely take a wrong turn. Who knows where you'd end up in these canyons. Possible that that is Manly Beacon. We don't know, but we're going to find out. As we rise up, you can see the trail ahead at the base of what I think is Manly Beacon. We'll only know when we get up there. You can see a trail winding around up there and around the right side. And then of course, you just about take your pick which of these hills you want to tackle, in which direction, and pretty much have a free-for-all experience. But watch out for sudden drop-offs because even though there are little trails here, boy, you go off the edge of one of these and you may not be able to stop till you hit the bottom. Another CLM career limiting move. Little alkali in the hills here. I believe that's the substance from which borax soap is made, and a lot of other things. Okay, let's continue on up to what I think is Manly Beacon. Here we go. Here's the trail ascending, I believe, at the base of Manly Beacon. But look around. Look what you can see below. There's Golden Canyon. And all the other little Golden Canyons, split offs. And then over here, Telescope Peak, Wild Rose Peak. Back to Manly Beacon. Okay, we're at a high point. There, I still believe that's Manly Beacon, but it'd be nice to see a different orientation from Zabriskie Point, where you get a really good view of it. And there we are, first view of Zabriskie Point, right up on that hill there. And you can see the Golden Canyon area all around us. And yeah, pick your hill and there's probably a little trail. You spend the whole day here just wandering around. If you like to climb these, which can be fun. And there is a good shot of Wild Rose Peak. Continue on up, wind our way up to Zabriskie Point. Here we go. This route is very well marked compared to the first time I took it, where you basically had to pick your way through the canyon and find out where Zabriskie Point was. And here you see signs everywhere so people don't get lost in the canyon. And 1.1 miles gets us up to the Zabriskie Point. This is what's called the Badland Junctions. And Golden Gulch, let's see, Golden Canyon Trailhead is 2.5 miles. And the trailhead via Gower Gulch is 1.6 miles up to Zabriskie Point Trailhead. What we're going to do is head up the quickest way to Zabriskie Point. Maybe we'll come back down here and take the other circuit, Gower Gulch circuit. Okay, here we go. A lot of loops in this area. We happen to be now on the Badlands Loop. Okay, a look back shows that rock or point that I was referring to as Manly Beacon is indeed Manly Beacon. What's important about Manly Beacon, anytime you see some kind of picture of Death Valley or some kind of documentary on Death Valley, you're going to see Manly Beacon. It's like the signature photograph of Death Valley. And then over in this direction, there's the Red Cathedral, or at least that area. And you can see how the mountains have that the shape of the old pipe organ type shaping. So Manly Beacon, and then you can see the Golden Canyon area and the Badlands Loop here, then going down to the Gower Gulch Junction down below, and then over to just the tip there of Wild Rose Peak in the Panamint Range. By the way, you can see adventure videos for Wild Rose Peak, Telescope Peak, Augerberry Point, which would be, wow, I think, not sure, but as I look at it, I believe that that point up there is Augerberry Point. And then looking over this way, there's the hill that we circled around to go to Skidoo. And there are pages on Las Vegas area trails for Augerberry Point and Skidoo, along with the Wild Rose Peak and Telescope Peak. So if you want to get a closer look, that's the way to do it, other than being there. And then here's the trail leading up to, I believe, Zabriskie Point is right up here. Can't see it because it's just over this hill and on top of the hill. Okay, let's continue on up. Better view of Zabriskie Point. There's the Red Cathedral at the top of Golden Canyon. Then over here, Manly Beacon. And then continuing around, you see Death Valley opening up beneath us. And there's Telescope Peak. Rogers Peak, Bennett Peak, and Wild Rose Peak. And trails everywhere. We'll see if we can work our way around to the trail immediately below Zabriskie Point. Now I'm in an open wash below Zabriskie Point, and you can see people heading up towards Zabriskie Point, and there it is right at the top of the hill. The reason I'm not going up there is I just want to see where they really want people to go here, because I'm seeing signs at every point along the way here that it's not supposed to be a trail. Now, of course, you could take any of these trails and you could end up there. But I'm curious as to what is the trail, the suggested trail. So we're going to continue around this wash, winding upward, and see if there's if it's going to reach a point around Zabriskie Point up there. Okay, I continued up the wash, and I guess I should have taken one of those not trails that would have led me up to Zabriskie Point sooner, but this is kind of interesting. This almost looks like a little version of Mosaic Canyon. So let's just head up this for a little bit and see what we find out. Yeah, it's kind of got the features of Anniversary Narrows and Mosaic Canyon, except the walls aren't quite as smooth. I'm going to head up another canyon at this point. But here we are in this canyon opening. Okay, here's another little canyon opening, spinning off from the main wash. And we look around, and here it goes upward. Let's take this for a bit, see where it leads. Okay, yeah, this is leading up, definitely. And this must be very close to Zabriskie Point, right above us, as evidenced by all the people there. Yeah, if I had to do this over again, maybe I'll go down one of those other trails, because all those things that say not a trail, that's the only way to get up to Zabriskie Point from the route that I took. So we'll head down the other way, but yeah, here's an alternate route, and there's a lot of ways up to the top of this little canyon area. And here we are. We just came up this canyon.
Years, yeah. The water's gonna rise.
Here's the Zabriskie Point parking area, but what I wanted to point out here was this wash looks like the upper section of that wash, that large wash I was in. Let's just see what things look like here from above. Yeah, let's go down this way just a little bit, see what things look like. You can see how the wash narrows, starting to look a lot like Anniversary Narrows or Mosaic Canyon in some places. Interesting. Okay, we're going to head back up to Zabriskie Point, right up in this area, and then head down back to the Badlands Loop and eventually back to Golden Canyon. Looks like you can actually, there are some trails, or at least places where people have climbed before, toward Manly Beacon. I don't know what the quality of those trails are, but I can pretty much say that you are definitely skirting a huge drop off if you go up that way. Here's the trailhead. I believe it's this spot right here. And it leads down. And where you want to end up is actually down in the canyons, and then navigate your way through those canyons. One last look at Manly Beacon before we head down. Okay, now I think I get it. The only place that says that does not say not a trail. As you can see, the little signs here. And yes, you can too, head down this hillside. But it's not the official trail. So what I want to do is, I believe the official trail is right in that area. So I want to take the official trail just to point out where it is. So back down to the highway and then down this trail that's going to wind around through the canyon. You see along the bottom of the canyon there. That's going to end up giving you a choice as these people below us are doing, or continuing down the canyon. So we'll see where things go. But yeah, I want to get the official trailhead over here just to see the area that is officially tread. Okay, here's the official trail down to Golden Canyon. And it looks like it's 3.5 miles via Gower Gulch, 2.9 miles via Golden Canyon, which is the way we came up. We'll do Gower Gulch. Red Cathedral, 2.4 miles, and Badland Loop, 2.7 miles. So here we go. And now down the official trail, which is a lot more gradual than those trails on the hill, although those are fun too. But this is the official Zabriskie Point trail. So down we go. One thing about that official trail, it does go fast. I made it down to this point in about 60 seconds compared to whatever it took me to go uphill. Somehow I missed the junction sign, which is right here on the way up. So yeah, I'm going to keep heading down the wash here. Maybe. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Golden Canyon Trailhead is up this way. I don't see any signs for what's down this wash. Let's take a look and see. No, I don't see any signs down here. So I'll go ahead and head for the Golden Canyon Trailhead and just see where all that leads and what choices I have. So here we go. Okay, heading toward Gower Gulch Junction, right there at the bottom of that canyon. We'll look at the signs when we reach the junction down there. Until then, yeah, just running down the hills, pretty fast going. There's Death Valley in the background. Manly Beacon. Okay. Down we go. Okay, here we are at the Badlands Junction, where we were before. This time, we're going to take the Golden Canyon Trailhead via Gower Gulch, which is different than the way we came. The way we came was this direction from Golden Canyon. And then Zabriskie Point over that hill straight ahead. If you're going up to Zabriskie Point, this is the quickest way to get there. Okay, and the signs are pretty clear. Okay, here we go. Okay, Gower Gulch opens up into that main wash we were at not too long ago. So it looks like, yes, we are heading right to go down to Golden Canyon Trailhead via Gower Gulch. A wider Gower Gulch, that is. Well, I'm going to make a prediction here. I don't think Gower Gulch meets up with Golden Canyon at all. It's a much wider wash, and I didn't see any connections to a wash like this from Golden Canyon Trail. So what I'm going to guess is that this is going to empty out just to the south of the main Golden Canyon entrance. So we'll find out. Here we go. By the way, I wiped out back there, as you can see, and then my knee and the interesting thing was I've been along a lot of cliff routes and never wiped out. I've been on the edge of cliffs, never wiped out, but here we are in good old flat Gower Gulch and a wipeout, which demonstrates that a wipeout can occur when you least expect it. And believe me, these rocks are not soft to land on. So, yeah, just when you think that everything is good going and you're not watching very carefully, that's when you're going to wipe out. What do you know? Up on this hill, looks like a little mine opening. I don't know what people would find in this mud type hill area, but evidently someone felt that it was worth digging into the side of the hardened dirt, mud, rock. Okay, normally you would think a canyon would widen as you get lower, but this one looks like it decided to get more narrow. Maybe the rock on either side was more difficult for the water to cut through. By the way, when I wiped out, I threw my phone about 15 feet. And fortunately, there's a good casing around it, because one would expect that that's the end of the phone. But no, we're still up and running. And looking backwards here, back up the canyon for a moment, this looks kind of familiar, at least the rock formations. Notice how they're all slanted, as if they were once horizontal and then were thrust up by the action of the earth somehow. Continuing on down. I said that originally you could drive through Golden Canyon and it was a loop. I do believe that this is the outer direction. Well, here's looking uphill, but Look how smooth this is. And I could almost see this as at one time being a road that took you back out of Golden Canyon, the other side of the loop. Okay, here we go. Okay, Lower Gower Gulch has a few little challenges, not much, but yeah, it narrows, and there's a few little areas to navigate. And going back up here, another section. So yeah, Gower Gulch does not remain as level as it did in the beginning, but nothing dramatic. Here we go, down the slot. Okay, here's that narrow section. We just came down this slot, and it continues down this way, but then looks like it widens out below, and we've got to be getting close to the opening down here. Okay, looks like we're getting close to the opening. See the light shining through. And yeah, these are little things to navigate, but believe me, that's not where I'm going to fall. I'm going to fall on the totally flat part like this. Okay, canyon is opening up. Lower end of Gower Gulch. Just a quick look around. Here's looking up Gower Gulch. And we're beginning to see the Panamint Mountain Range, the other side of Death Valley. And anytime now, we should be coming out into out of the opening of Gower Gulch. Let's take a look. And sure enough, here we are, coming out the opening of Gower Gulch. Now the only question is, how far back do we need to traverse to get to where the beast is parked at the Golden Canyon parking area? We're going to find out. Oh, here's a nice little downhill. Wow, look at this. Let's just imagine this is a lot easier than it looks. Oh, wow, right over the edge there. Okay. Well, let's see. Looks like there might be another way around this way. Yes. This is looking better. I'm going to take the one on the right. Here we go. And by the way, yeah, there you have Panamint Mountain Range out the opening of Gower Gulch. Yes, I would say it's good I didn't try going down the edge of that. And the gulch continues, and this winds right along the edge. Okay, onward. And yes, things level out here. Then over in this direction, you can see that it's not too much of a traverse to get back to the Golden Canyon parking area, right in the center there. And here's a view of where we are. And you can see how the water just cuts a very sharp drop off above that that wash. So maybe we'll get a view of that area. I was going to go over the edge. Not smart until I saw this. Well, the return trail from Gower Gulch to Golden Canyon is Very clear. Can't miss it. Just continue along take a right when you get out of Gower Gulch and then continue along. Look at the colors here. Wow. Like Artist Drive. Anyway, continue along until you get to Golden Canyon. We'll see when we get over the next rise. There we are, closing in on the parking area for Golden Canyon. Just looking around, there's the Brisket Grove. Great view of it. And now we're looking into the sun this direction toward Telescope Peak. And the little connector trail between Gower Gulch and Golden Canyon. Let's continue on. Just to give you an idea how this place fills up. This is the day after Christmas, and here's the Golden Canyon Trailhead. Both sides of the highway, the Badwater Road, are filled up with cars. On other days, this could go up and down Badwater Road quite a bit further. Here we are, back at the Beast.